Hey, what is going on, guys? Today I am sharing with you my top 5 best Assetto Corsa track mods for the month of April. On this list we have a wide variety of tracks, from some amazing GT3 tracks, some really local like grassroots tracks, and just overall, they're all so fun to drive, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, let's just get right into this. Number 1 on this list is Autodromo San Nicolas. This is a 4-kilometer track in Argentina. Basically, the designers of this track, I imagine, said, let's make the longest possible track in the shortest area possible. This thing is just a sweeping section of left, rights, hairpins, wide turns. It is so fun, actually. The layout is so simple, but it actually provides some really good racing, and overall is actually just fun to drive in general. The AI on it are very fast and competitive. The only negative with this track, really, is that it doesn't have any cameras, which is why you're seeing an onboard view of this track, but overall, it's a really good track. It's really fun to drive. Great AI, great detail. I mean, there's not much detail in it because this track isn't, very detailed. It doesn't have a ton around it. But overall, it's just a super high quality track. This track can be found in the race department link in the description below. Number 4 on this list needs no introduction. This is Bathurst, the Mount Panorama circuit. But what's a little different with this one is it's not the one you probably all have. I know many of us use the one that's on Race Department, and that one is very high quality. But this one, made by the Assetto Corsa reboot team, there's nothing you can do to compete with it. And the main reason why, and I think everyone should download this track, is because this is a laser scanned ACC conversion, meaning that not only is the track high quality, high detailed, it's also laser scanned, so you're getting the exact millimeters and measurements of the pavement and all the bumps and all the goodies that us sim racers love to ponder over. Of course, if you're really new to motorsports and you're wondering what this track has, it has, for the Australian V8 supercars, the Bathurst 1000. For GT racing, it has the Bathurst 12-hour. The list goes on and on for all the amazing races this track holds. If you don't have any Mount Panorama in your Assetto Corsa, this one is an absolute no-brainer. And if you have the race department one, this one is definitely worth the upgrade as well, especially for that laser scanned goodness. This mod can be found in the link in the description below. Number 3 on the list is one track that every sim racing channel and their mothers has made a video on, but it would be absolutely criminal not to remind you about it one more time and put it on this list. This is the Snatching Ring. Made by Gunner 333, this laser scanned version of the infamous Snatching Ring in Germany is an absolute joy to drive, and as well looks stunning with its amazing trackside details. This track is 3.7 kilometers for the base layout, and it in real life hosts MotoGP and Formula 4 races. So of course, obviously there's no motorcycles in Assetto Corsa, but Formula 4 you can do. But even in Formula 3, I'm running a Super GT car around here in the gameplay. It can really do anything as long as it doesn't have too much downforce. This track will always be a joy to drive. Of course, with its laser scanned goodness, the track surface is highly accurate. And again, trackside details are literally on Kunos level. If you want a really high quality track to drive, there's no reason why you should not get the Snatching Ring, and who doesn't want to drive a high quality track mod in Assetto Corsa? This mod can be found in the race department link in the description below. I highly recommend you give it a whirl. Number 2 on the list is the 3.8 kilometer grassroots GT racing track in Great Britain, Thruxton. From what I can tell and what I've heard, this track is a laser-scanned version of the Thruxton circuit, and the track details, just like Snatching Ring and Bathurst, are second to none. Literally Kunos level once again. This surprisingly simple layout provides some amazing racing. It's a joy to drive, and it has some tricky corners, to say the least. It works for most types of racing, GT racing, lower level formula racing. It can do it all pretty much, and it can do it all very, very well. The AI in this track is a little spotty, but in general, I think you can get some enjoyment out of it. But pretty much like any track in Assetto Corsa, obviously it's going to be best run with real people in online racing. But that is definitely not to say the AI on this track is a slouch. It's definitely not. They can be very quick and very aggressive. So yeah, overall, Thruxton, it's an amazing circuit. It's a joy to drive, and its implementation in this mod is super, super good. You can find this mod in the race department link in the description below. I highly, highly recommend you give it a download. And finally, number one on this list, we've had some pretty grassroots level tracks, but I don't think anything gets more realistic than Mas du Clos. This 3.1 kilometer track is made in France, going up and down a windy hill. Its elevation is what every sim racer dreams of. This track is right at home with all of your cup cars, you know, your MX-5s, your Porsches, all of those. They're right at home here, and it drives so amazing. I could honestly lap this track for hours. The layout itself is simple, but with some really tricky sweeping downhill corners, the elevation change in general, the narrow track at some points, it's just a joy to drive. You really have to lap this track a lot to be fast at it, and that is what I absolutely love in a sim racing track, and a track in general, frankly. Overall, I highly recommend you give this mod an install. It even has a drift layout for all you drifters. There's no reason why you don't want this. This appeals to every type of racer. This mod can be found in the race department link in the description below. Highly, highly recommend you give it a try. So yeah, that is all I have for you guys this month. We still have a few days left to hit our goal of 400 subs. If we do hit it, we will have just barely hit it. But even if we don't, it was a pretty lofty goal, and to get so close is just absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for the support. April has been one of my biggest months ever, and it's just so cool seeing all of the new people joining up on my league, Real Life Esports. Just subbing to the channel, commenting. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I hope I am giving you guys some very enjoyable sim racing content. And yeah, it's only going to get better from here. May is another big month. Going into June is going to be even bigger, because I am going to be most likely one of the first to review the Fanatec CSL DD. So get subscribed for that if you want to know firsthand what the CSL DD is like. But besides that, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one, guys.